it is time for a brand new crochet project. I am so excited for this project. If you know me and you've seen any of my previous vlogs, you know that I am obsessed with my Blossom cardigan. It's a fun front tie floral lace patterned cardigan which is perfect for the spring and summer. I wear it to absolute death, okay? You've probably seen it in many of my videos, you've probably seen me yap about it a bunch of times, and I love it. I love it so much, but I want to make another one. So I recently frogged a old project of mine and I am going to turn that yarn into a Blossom cardigan 2.0. I haven't decided on a name just yet, but I'm sure if you clicked on this video you've seen what the name is. So this is the yarn that I am going to be working with. It's a really beautiful colour combo. We have this kind of like goldy green sort of shade and then this like petrol blue. I feel like these two colours look so good together. I am really excited to make a start. I've done a little bit of practice swatches on some lace patterns that I found and they all look amazing. They all look really good. I'm struggling to kind of decide which one I like the most, but yeah, I'm really excited. I think this is gonna look so fun. Also as well, when this was in my previous cardigan, I remember when I posted about it on social media like 2 years ago, somebody said that the colours reminded them of either Mermaid Man or Barnacle Boy from SpongeBob. I can't remember which character's which. Yeah, now I can't unsee that. And I think that's a good thing. I don't see that as a negative. I think that's fun. I think this is a great colour palette. Also, hello, if you don't know me, my name is Rajan, aka Not Half Bad Crochet. And if you like crochet content like vlogs, day in the lives, project videos, crochet day vlogs, tutorials, then please consider subscribing to my channel. Obviously, if you enjoyed this video, give it a like and leave me a comment to let me know what you think. Okay, so I have done some practice swatches of some lace patterns that I really like the look of, and here they are. I don't really know which one I want to go for just yet. I think I'm gonna have to kind of sit on it for a little bit and decide kind of how complex they are and how much of that complexity I'm willing to do for an entire cardigan. So here is lace pattern number 1. These are all going to be done like vertically, so if you do have the pattern to my Blossom cardigan, the construction is going to be the exact same. It's just going to be a different lace pattern, which is great for me because I think it's an insanely easy garment construction and it's also really fun. But yes, here is number 1. It's kind of, this honestly reminds me a lot of my Blossom cardigan lace pattern. It has like a little kind of center flower motif. It's got this kind of like ripple wave throughout it, which is really cute. I do like this one. I just don't know if it's maybe a little bit too similar to my Blossom cardigan because obviously like ultimately I'm making this for myself, and as much as the color palette is going to be different, I do want something with a different lace pattern. So this is beautiful. I just don't know if I want it for a second lace cardigan for myself. I do think as well the kind of center like hole of the flower pattern is quite large. I definitely could refine that a little bit and just kind of like, you know, tighten everything up, but it would, yeah, obviously that's just an edit that I would need to make if I did end up going with this one. Not my favorite, but I still think it's beautiful. For number 2, which is the one that I'm kind of favoring at the moment, is this really cute kind of like diamond pattern, and it's got like these kind of like solid diamonds in the middle, but then this area where it's kind of like the lace or the chain space, this part like forms like another diamond. I should have really done like all of the extra rows to show you properly, but yeah, I think this is really cute, and I love the diamond shape in the middle. I think as well like this would block really nicely. That's option number 2. I do really like this one. And then option number 3 is this one. It's kind of a little bit hard to show, but it's almost like got like a little sunburst or like a starburst sort of thing in the center. I do think I like fucked it up a little bit there because I don't think this gap is meant to be as gappy. I think I was meant to put another stitch there, which I forgot, but obviously I can rectify that, so don't look at that bit. But this part, the kind of starburst, sunburst thing is really cute. I just don't know if it's maybe a little bit too full of a fabric. I think I obviously want this to be like a lace cardigan, and I do want it to look very lacy, although yes, it does have some like chain spaces in between, and obviously once I block them they'll become a little bit more prominent. I think I want something a little bit lacier, a little bit airier, and with like a more obvious kind of lace pattern to it sort of thing. So I'm not really loving this one as much as I thought I would. It's a beautiful stitch, but just not, it doesn't have the intention that I want it to have basically. So I think I'm kind of veering between like 1 and 2 the most. But yeah, like I said, I'm gonna sit on it. I might do like a couple extra rows on this one just so I can kind of see the rest of that like diamond shaped form with like the chain spaces, and then I think I might maybe do another version of this swatch where I tighten up the center, just so I can kind of realistically see like what it would actually look like. But yeah, that's my idea. That's the project that we're going to be working on, so I'm bringing you along for the ride. Okay, here's a little update on where I am at. I think this looks so stinking cute. It looks so good. I love that it's kind of like formed this like, you know, lacy crosshatch in the middle, but then you also have like the diamonds in the middle as well. So it's like, depending on where you're focusing your eyes, you're either looking at like the main kind of diamond, or you're looking at like this kind of diamond. And I just think that's so fun. I think it's so good. So yeah, I'm probably maybe about 8 rows in. I've still got quite a bit of a way to go, but this also does have quite a nice amount of stretch to it, and obviously I'm going to block it, mainly because it's like frogged yarn, but also like I think crochet lace just benefits from a block. But yeah, it's looking really cute. So here's my update. I'm going to do a little bit more crocheting whilst I watch a movie. Okay, so I have a little update. I have finished my first panel, or my first body panel. It looks so good. I'm really, really pleased with how it's turned out. I feel like the lace pattern is beautiful, and I am going to be blocking both of the panels, or like all of the panels separately, because as much as I don't mind doing it all together, I do think it will be space wise, it will, in terms of like logistical space, it will make a little bit more sense to me for me to block the panels like separately rather than a whole finished piece, you know. So yeah, I think it's going to look really good. And the best thing about this panel is that obviously you're doing just body panels. So this is the front and the back panel on one side. So it's going to work up nice and quickly. And yeah, it looks really, really good. I love the kind of pattern that it's creating as well. And then I have made a start on the other half, which is going to be this blue color very, very early on. I think I'm like maybe 5 rows in. I've basically done like 1 diamond. But it's looking really, really cute, and I love this color palette together. But it is a really cute color palette. I think it's a really unique color palette as well. And I love doing like a split situation. Like obviously I could have done this all in one color, but where I've kind of got like random amounts of yarn, I feel like doing this kind of like split color palette really works well for me, because sometimes I don't want to do stripes, sometimes I don't want to do like checkerboards, or you know, a checkered pattern or patchwork. I don't want to do that. So I think this works really well for me, where I have random amounts of yarn, but I still want to create like a fun color palette, but I don't want it to be stripy, I don't want it to be checkerboard, you know. So it just kind of like opens that up a little bit more. And honestly, I think this would look really good in all one color as well. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I'm gonna work on the second body panel. I'll probably block maybe both of them at the same time actually, because it's like just going to be one long. Do I have enough blocking mats? I should do. I'll figure out. Yeah, I'm going to be working on this. I'm going to watch a couple of movies. I'm not feeling very well today, so I'm going to try and take it easy and, you know, work on this. I'm not, you know, super rushed to get it done or anything. That's what I'm going to do. currently have finished both the front panel and the back panels. I mean the body panel, shall I say, because they're both front panels and back panels. So they're all done. I think this is gonna look so fucking cute. I really love this colour combo. I absolutely love it. My partner is not a fan of this colour combo together, but I think it looks gorge. And I don't really have anything with these kind of tones in, or like these shades, so I think this is really beautiful. I really, really love it. So I did make a start on one of my sleeves. Where is it? And I mean like a start, very much a start. I don't know if I want to make the sleeve a little bit bigger, because like it fits around my bicep, but I don't know if I want it to be a little bit looser. I think it'll be fine because I'm obviously going to block it, so with stretch it's kind of it's actually fine. So I think I don't know, I haven't decided yet, but it's kind of like, you know, it's like it fits around my arm comfortably, but I don't know if I want like a loose sleeve or like a kind of a little bit more fitted sleeve. I haven't quite decided. So yeah, so I'm making a start on the sleeve number 1, and then it's just sleeve number 2, and then some assembly. I might actually block my panels today. Did I say that already? Can't remember. I might block my panels today just so they're done and they're drying, and then hopefully by the time I finish my sleeves I'll be able to like assemble the panels whilst I wait for the sleeve panels to finish drying from blocking. I think that's probably why I don't usually block my panels separately, is because I hate the fact that I have to like wait for them to dry before I can assemble anything. So it's like, it feels, I'm just like there waiting, and I don't have multiple whips on the go, so I'm kind of like, you know, at my blocking map to be like, hello, can you dry so I can finish you, you know, because I personally am very much like, I finish a project, I move on to the next one. I can't have like multiple whips on the go because it stresses me out a little bit. I have been working on my sleeves, and I basically, so my body panels are blocking, and I've kind of started on both of the sleeves, and I've kind of stopped at this point, mainly because with my body panels I obviously need them to be like dried and blocked and you know, finished, so I can put them against my body and figure out how long I need to make my sleeves. Because where I'm doing the circumference and I'm like working the length of the sleeve, I actually need the body panel, because if you're plus size or you've got a big bust, you know that when you're making a body panel, a lot of the time you end up basically giving yourself like a drop shoulder. So your body panel actually comes out sometimes like onto your arm, so it's long enough to like wrap around your body and your bust. But I obviously need that panel to be able to kind of figure out how long to make my sleeve, because usually you would go from like the top of your shoulder or the top of your, you know, arm down to your sleeve, but that's not necessarily the case and won't be the case for me with this piece. So yes, I need those panels to be done before I kind of officially finish with my sleeves. I basically got like pretty far with both of them, because where I'm working with like the smaller balls of yarn, I just think I did like 2 of the smaller balls for this sleeve, and then I did like 2 of the smaller balls for this one. So I was kind of, there's no point being joining another ball of yarn and then like not knowing when to stop basically with the sleeve, because I think, funnily enough, I actually think they're very similar in length. Yeah, very similar in terms of the length of it. But yeah, so I don't really know what I can kind of do at this point other than wait for my body panels to dry and then continue on with this, because the only things left after, you know, finishing up the sleeves would be to join everything and then do the finishing details and like add the front tie. That's all that's left. So this has taken me not long at all. I think having time off work has definitely aided in the speed. Not that I was like really trying to rush and to get it done. I've obviously just had more free time and I've been crocheting more, and that's okay. And I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I feel like, especially seeing it on the blocking mat and seeing the kind of post blocking look of how the lace pattern's gonna look, I just think it looks so good. I think as well, like, I love this kind of inside cross hatch situation. I love the fact that we're kind of getting like 2 separate patterns in there, like depending on where you focus your eyes, which is just so fun. So yeah, it's kind of giving like optical illusion a little bit, and I love that. Like right now I'm looking at like this part, but then if I look at this part, this is the more dominant pattern, and yeah, I just think that's really fun. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at the moment, and for now I guess it's like a bit of a waiting game. I've just pulled both of the panels off of the blocking mat, and oh my god, they look so fucking good. I am really impressed. So the blocking worked wonders. It did a really nice job of just kind of like opening up the stitch pattern a little bit, so it wasn't as kind of like constricted. And obviously where this is frogged yarn as well, like I knew that blocking was just going to help, especially with the like kind of fuller diamonds, just kind of make it lay a little bit flatter and stuff. But yeah, it looks really good. Obviously it's a bit hard to tell with my top. Also, this is the Wave Hello top. This is one of my very own patterns. It's a really cute like faux halter neck summer top, and it has this like ruffled edge which does not go under your armpits, so you don't get deodorant and ruffles stuck under your armpits. And then the back is like a faux halter neck, so it doesn't go around your neck. So if you're like me and you got big tits and halter necks hurt your neck and your back, this is good because it doesn't go around your neck and it won't cause you pain, but it still kind of gives the look of a halter neck from the front. But this is one of my patterns, so if you want it, you know where to go. I'll link it in the description. But I love wearing the summer top. I love the colors, and I think it looks so cute with these jeans. I really want to make another one in like a fine yarn. I think that would look so cute. But yes, anyway, the panels are dry. They look gorgeous. I love them. I'm really pleased with how they've turned out. And then what I did was I basically finished up my sleeves. I've done them. So I didn't have many more rows to do. I think I maybe had like 2 or 3 rows for each sleeve, but they didn't need that much length because I am gonna obviously block the sleeves. So I've given myself maybe like 1 inch, maybe 2 inches of wiggle room, because I'm going to do like a finishing row and maybe like a little cute border of some kind on the edge of the sleeve. They look so fucking good. I'm really pleased. So I'm about to go, this looks crazy, I'm about to go and block the sleeves, but I thought I would just give a little update because it's going to be however many days it takes for the sleeves to dry before I can assemble everything. But I don't have much left at all. I feel like this project has absolutely flown by, but all I have left is to obviously wait for the after the sleeves are blocked and like they're dry, all I have left to assemble it, maybe do like a finishing border around the edge of the sleeves and the bottom of the piece, add my front ties, and then I'm done. So I'm like, what the hell, this has been so quick. And also I have loads of yarn left over. Like my Blossom cardigan, it didn't take up that much yarn. I think it was like 400 grams or something like that, maybe a little bit more, maybe just over 400. And I made my Blossom cardigan really short, and so I was like, okay, I'm probably gonna need maybe like 150 grams more to make it a little bit longer, and obviously like depending on the stitch pattern, blah blah blah. But in terms of like the laciness and the fullness of this stitch, I feel like it's quite similar to the Blossom cardigan. Obviously I know it's a different stitch pattern, but I feel like it's relatively similar. I was expecting to use like a little bit more yarn for this piece than the Blossom cardigan, but I mean, I'll weigh it all up, but I don't think I've used that much at all, you know? So I'm really impressed, I'm really pleased. I've been able to work this up really quickly, like completely unintentionally. I think having time off work definitely aided that, but even still, like, that's not that long. Anyway, I'm gonna go block the sleeve panels now, and then I'll wait for them to dry, and then I'll, you know, give you an update. It's assembly day! Oot, 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 oot. I think I might be able to finish this by today, you know. So my sleeves have just come off the blocking mat. They just look so fucking good. I am obsessed with this stitch pattern. Like, this is so fun. It's gonna look so good. So yeah, I've just taken some pictures and stuff for the pattern so people know where to kind of assemble and how to assemble and what it should look like, all of that fun stuff. And then now, all I have left to do is to literally sew the panels together, do a trim, do the front ties, and then I'm done. So I reckon I might actually be able to finish it by today, because I was going to film the tutorial for the stitch pattern, or not the tutorial, but like the video guide that's going to go along with the written pattern. I was going to film that today, but I've got a bit of a headache, so I'm not really feeling it. I'm not really feeling doing anything where I have to concentrate a lot or where I have to like talk a lot. I also have tomorrow where I can do it, because usually I would only have today, but my partner is actually working from the office tomorrow, meaning I have like the office free, well, home office free, because he's a loud typer. I mean, to be fair, I prefer just like silence, because whenever I'm doing a tutorial, even if it's like somebody breathing in the background, I don't like that. So I need to make sure I have silence. So anyway, what was I talking about? Anyway, yeah, I think I'm gonna be able to get it done. So all I've got to do is assemble it and do a trim. I'm really wanting to do another scalloped border, and I actually have to physically fight the urge to put a scalloped border on everything, because I just think they're so fucking cute. Like, I have a scalloped border on my Blossom cardigan, I have a scalloped border on the all tied up cardigan, I've done a scalloped border on many other things in my lifetime. I think on my granny hexagon jumper that I've done, I did a scalloped border. They just look so fucking cute. But where this is obviously not like a floral pattern and it's more of like a diamond shaped pattern, I don't know if like a scalloped shape is gonna look as good. Like, I think it will look cute, but I think I can find a different border that would look also very cute. So I'm gonna have a little look around, see what I can find, any inspo and stuff, and then yeah, I'll decide on a cute border. I also think like a picot border I think a picot border would actually be adorable. So there's also that as an option. It smells really nice because of the laundry detergent I use. Anyway, that's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna assemble and hopefully be able to finish it today. How fun is this, guys? I'm having a great time. This is such a great project. It's been so fun. The stitch pattern has been really fun. It's worked up really nice and quickly, and because it's warm and because it's lace, I haven't had to wait for like a million years for the pieces and the panels to dry, which has been great. Oh, I'm having such a good time. I have thoroughly enjoyed every part of this process. Not a part of it have I been stressed, or has it gone wrong? I've had enough yarn. It's just, it's been great. Oh, I love it. Anyway, I'm gonna stop talking. I finished it. I think it's turned out so good. I feel like it's been so long since I provided any update because we basically went through like a huge heat wave. So I literally finished it and then the heat wave started and obviously everything was blocked. So I was like, okay, well, I'll weave in my ends because I have nothing else to do. And it's literally been like probably a week since I have finished it. I just physically have not been able to put this on my body because it's so fucking hot. We were literally in like 32-degree weather, like sickeningly, stiflingly, horribly hot. And even having the door closed with the fan off right now is quite horrible, but whatever, we're out of the woods. But I think it's turned out so good. I cannot remember what my kind of like last update was, but everything went swimmingly. I have no issues with this pattern. I had no issues with creating the piece. I think because the construction itself was basically identical to my Blossom cardigan, I didn't really have to kind of like figure anything out in terms of the actual construction. And then once I've kind of discovered what lace pattern I wanted to do and then realized like how simple it was, I just did it, you know? So I actually had no problems making this. It was a really, really fun pattern. The stitch pattern itself is really nice and like repetitive. I think it's like 4, I can't remember if it's 4 or 5 rows of repeat, but it's really, really simple. There's like a lot of repetition throughout it, but it's got like slight variation so it doesn't make it boring, if that makes sense. So it's a really, really fun stitch pattern. You kind of get these full diamonds and then these like chain kind of cross hatch diamonds, which I think looks so cool. And I cannot wait to wear this. Like, and when it cools down just a tiny bit, like I made it out of cotton. So this is 100% cotton. I think this is the drop saffron yarn. I think this is color green tea and then this is petrol, I believe. I can't really remember because this is frogged yarn, like I mentioned, but I'm pretty sure that's the names. But yeah, once it cools down a little bit, I thought this is going to be so nice, like with like a cute, I mean, even with my outfit today, I'm just wearing this black like mid-axy kind of skirt, and I think this looks really, really cute. I feel like this is going to look so good as like a swimsuit cover up as well. And like I really want to make like a long version of one of these cardigans, either my Blossom cardigan or this one. And I have decided on a name. I've decided to call it the Diamond in the Rough cardigan because, you know, I love a pun, okay? I love a pun, I love a play on words, and I just think it's perfect with the kind of 2 diamond shapes that we get in here. And yeah, I just think it's a really cute name. I did end up going for a fun little picot border on the edge of the sleeve and on the edge of the actual cardigan as well. I think this just adds like a really nice finishing touch that isn't a scalloped border, because although I think a scalloped border would have looked cute, I feel like because I'm working with a diamond shape, which is obviously quite a like hard shape, it's not floral, it's not flowers, it's not like a soft wavy type of shape, it's got angles, it's hard. I feel like the scallop border wouldn't have looked quite as right. So I feel like the picot border is just like at the perfect finishing touch, but without it being soft, you know, without it softening the piece, you know, if that makes any sense. It makes sense to me. But yeah, I am really, really obsessed with how this has turned out. I love the colouring. The whole process was great. I love the finished piece. I have no complaints. I think it's gone very, very well. So if you would like to grab the pattern for the Diamond in the Rough cardigan, it will be linked in the description. It is a written pattern, but there are photos after every single row. So if you're more of a visual person, that is going to be really helpful. There's also a video guide. And how I've done the video guide is to basically be watched like in accompaniment to reading the patterns. So it's kind of in a way trying to get you like more familiar with reading written patterns and then just having that visual guide as a guide, but also like confirmation that you're doing it right. I think that that's going to be really good for anyone who is transitioning over to written patterns, who maybe is like an intermediate or advanced crocheter but not as confident in written patterns. I think this is going to be really, really good for you. Also as well, I kind of like go through the stitch pattern, so obviously each row builds up the stitch pattern, and I've basically done like an explanation where I kind of explain like how each part of the stitch pattern becomes each part of the stitch and like the way it forms, so it will become a little bit easier for you to actually create it, because you'll be able to essentially spot like which part of the pattern you're doing rather than just kind of like reading off of your notes. You will be able to kind of intuitively see how it's working up and be able to kind of work it up a little bit easier because you know what's coming. I hope that makes sense. That's kind of how my brain works, and I know it's similar to how a lot of other people's brain works, so hopefully that is actually like quite helpful. helpful, because I know that would be helpful to me, because sometimes when it comes to written patterns and just patterns in general, it's like I need like that little bit of an explanation. But yeah, anyway, written pattern with a video guide and pictures and everything will be linked in the description. It's a really simple pattern. I really would recommend it for intermediate or advanced crocheters. So if you've got a couple of garments under your belt, if you are familiar with written patterns, I would recommend this pattern for you. But yeah, I think it's turned out so cute. So thank you so much for hanging out with me while I crocheted the diamond in the rough cardigan. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, leave me a comment, and obviously grab the pattern. It will be linked in the description, and let me know if you do make it, because I would love to see your version. If you enjoy all things crochet related, then subscribe to my channel, and I would love to connect with you. If you're not following me on TikTok and on Instagram already, you can find my @ in the description, but you can find me at Not Half Bad Crochet. But yeah, thanks so much for hanging out with me, and I will hopefully see you on the next one.